Guys, welcome back to the channel. Today is a fight review of the fight this past weekend between Junto Nakatani versus Sebastian Hernandez. Junto Nakatani currently is a 3-division world champion. Champion at flyweight, super flyweight, and a unified champion at bantamweight. The big fight that everybody's talking about is Nakatani versus the Monster Inoue. Now they're talking about that in Japan, obviously, because they're both from Japan and both top pound-for-pound fighters. But he is under harsh criticism for this fight this past weekend, and I want to point out a few things. One, Nakatani is extremely fast and pretty explosive, but he does telegraph his punches a little bit. He throws this weird uppercut that's so fast that it's hard to get away from, but he does telegraph that punch, and somebody like Inoue might be able to capitalize on that. But before I talk about Inoue versus Nakatani, I want to get back into the fight. Hernandez is a hard person to judge when it comes to quality, right? Nakatani's an established pound-for-pound fighter, but Hernandez is just an undefeated prospect type of guy, top contender. We don't know how truly good he is, but we do know that he's tough. And the way I like to view this fight that happened this past weekend is Nakatani fought a Margarito type of style fighter. Antonio Margarito, to be exact. Now, he's known for those big cheating hand wraps that he did. And, you know, I think he got a justified punishment. He probably should have got punished a little harder. But Hernandez had a very good chin. And it seemed like despite how much he loaded up, he was able to take those hits flush. And it almost looked like Nakatani was taking those hits worse than he was, worse than Hernandez was. But I think that's also due to fatigue. The reason why I say it's hard to judge Hernandez is because, for all we know, he could be a top 122 fighter. He versus David Picasso would be an amazing fight. It would really give us a sense of how good Sebastian Hernandez truly is. And not trying to take anything away from him, because he was on it. He started off slow. He absorbed the punishment early on. Nakatani looked like a superstar. If Nakatani could have put him away in the 6th, 7th round, that would have been a performance of the year type of fight. But he started to break down, and Hernandez started to pick up. It was just one of those fights where stylistically it just might be a nightmare for him. So, who knows how he would have done against Inoue? You know, could he have taken Inoue's punches for 12 rounds? I want to say no, but again, this dude did not budge at all. That chin was iron. It was iron. And when it comes to who do I think won that fight could have gone either way. A lot of the second half of that fight, I gave it to Hernandez. I think I gave Nakatani 1 round. I wish I gave you guys the exact round, but I wasn't really scoring until after the 6th or 7th round, and I started noticing Hernandez started picking it up on him. But that judge that had it 118 to 110, yo, get that dude out of there, man. That dude was bought out. Suspension. We should be harsh on that dude right there. 7 rounds to 5, 115 to 113 is justified. I would have been happy with a draw. I actually would have been happy if Hernandez won, to be honest with you guys. But how would Nakatani, right, now saying what happened, that, hey, you know what, you got lucky. You got lucky against this guy. How would he fare against Inoue? Nakatani is clearly a talented fighter. One thing I have noticed about these Japanese fighters, their footwork is very good. But once they get in the pocket, they tend to kind of stay still a little bit. If you notice, that's why Inoue was able to get hit a lot with that left hook, because they almost have like this warrior aspect. It's kind of beautiful too when you think about it. They throw these punches from different angles. Like Nakatani was able to throw that looping uppercut and then just come with the right hook, almost like aerial this way, like almost an uppercut. It was a type of offense where if you're very worried about getting hit, you might be hesitant to throw punches, because Inoue has a similar style where these punches come from so many different angles that it kind of catches you off guard. It's hard to honestly prepare for. And that's why another reason why I think Hernandez, it took him a while to start gearing up. I know he was kind of a slow starter anyway, but I think once he realized, okay, these punches are coming from here, they're coming from here, you kind of see the punches coming. They actually hurt less when you see them where they're coming from. I think that's why Hernandez started picking it up. These Japanese fighters, and I wish I could remember, there was this one fighter back in the day that fought Felix Sturm, this Japanese fighter, and he was the same way, except he was very still. He would throw these weird punches from different angles, and Felix Sturm would just absorb them. And I think he actually won that round by TKO. But Japanese fighters have a very wide variety of angles that they use in their punches, including the jab. And it's actually really nice to watch. It makes for exciting fights. With that being said, the flaw in their game is the standing still when they're almost trying to get outgunned. They almost, like I said, they have this like warrior mentality, like old samurai school type of mentality, where it's like, yeah, I'm gonna hit you. Okay, I'm good. I'm chilling here. And when they're chilling there, that's when you kind of have to unleash. And that's what Hernandez did. And even Picasso in his fight against Inoue was able to land those left hooks once Inoue stopped moving. Who has the better footwork between Inoue and Nakatani? Man, Inoue. I think some of those punches that Nakatani throws are very telegraphed. He does throw them very fast, so I don't know if he would be able to dodge those punches necessarily, but he'll definitely be able to move out the way. His footwork is like that when it comes to like telegraph punching. So when it comes to distance and trying to cut the distance, Inoue got the upper hand. Speed and combos, Inoue got the upper hand. Experience, they're both right up to par. I think the experience at 122 is probably favors Inoue, but Nakatani's clearly a talented individual. He was fighting a guy who could just take punches. Who knows how the other people at 122 would fare against him. Again, I would love to see Picasso versus Hernandez, and that would really show us how top elite these guys are. I think Hernandez would have given Inoue a similar style of fight. Honestly, not so much with the rounds winning, because I think Inoue would have won virtually all the rounds, but he definitely would have been on him for a very long time, as long as his chin lasts, and it kind of looks like it'll last a while. Now, I also want to add that that style of fighting doesn't last too long. So if I'm Hernandez, I'm trying to get the biggest fights the next 2-3 years, because 4 or 5 years from now, you're not going to be the same fighter. It just shows, history shows that. So, do I think Nakatani stands a chance against Inoue? I think he stands a chance to make a very good, competitive, and exciting fight against Inoue. Do I think he can win? No. No, I don't think so. I think Inoue uses his jab better. The footwork, they're very similar, but I gotta give the edge to Inoue. And when it comes to punches from different angles, I am curious to see how Inoue will react to that when they're in close quarters. But something tells me that their sparring partners do the same thing over there. So I think that's something he might be more accustomed to than we would actually give credit for, because he doesn't fight Japanese fighters too often, at least not top Japanese fighters. So that would be interesting to see. So I gotta favor Inoue. I gotta favor him by a late round TKO. I think he could last a while, at least like 8 to 11 rounds, and that's my prediction right now. I think we should get that fight next. Let's get that fight next, and on the undercard, let's put David Picasso versus Sebastian Hernandez, and then the winner of that fight could potentially fight for a world title, because at some point, Inoue's going to have to go up. I think he should go out with a bang, and if Hernandez wins a fight against Picasso, then hey, he can have one more fight at 122 and say, yo, I literally cleared everybody out and moved up to 126. So that's my fight review for the fight. Let me know if you agree. I see people watching my videos. Hey, listen, man, like and subscribe. Type your crap down in the comment section. You know, let's discuss boxing. This is what I love to do, man. See you guys in the next one.